Hey folks, today's video is brought to you by SalvageReseller.com. This website allows you to bid live on online salvage auto auctions without a dealer's license. You can register for free or use the 20% off coupon in the description below. Go find your salvage car gem now.
Hey everybody, welcome to beautiful France. I'm in the south of France where Aston Martin has invited me out to check out the new Aston Martin DB12, what they're calling the world's first super tourer. So this is a 200 plus mile an hour luxury sports car that promises to do it all. And in this video, we're taking a look at the inside and the outside to see if it's worth it. Now let's talk about the design, because the DB12 has to be one of the best looking cars for sale today. You know, as a kid, I grew up around DB7, DB9, and I was just constantly in awe at the design, and I didn't think it could get much better. Then we saw the DB10 in the Bond movie, and that was okay, and then the 11 proved to be good, but this 12 is just a stunner. The proportion of the hood to the roofline, to the way the hips kind of carve out this this character line on the side is just gorgeous. In the front, you've got that iconic Aston Martin grille in this emerald green. You've got these silver streaks, which just make it look phenomenal. And that's flanked by radiators on each end. You've got full LED headlights, and then as you make your way up to the hood, these character lines, which just make the car seem like it's going fast sitting still. You got the dual hood vents, which kind of make the car look like it has nostrils. But the front end look of this car is impeccable, especially in this emerald green on the 21-inch bronze wheels. Now this is something cool about this car. It's actually the launch car for the Michelin Pilot Sport S5. Brand new tire, super sticky summer tire. You know, the 4S has been around for a long time. It's iconic among car enthusiasts throughout the world, but the S5 now, bringing it to another level, and it's actually the first application is on the DB12. But look at like this little vent, you know, Aston Martin in the carbon fiber there. It just protrudes out from the side, makes the wheel look even larger than it is. Very simple door design, and then you've got that crisp lower aero design there on the element of the door. And then as we come back to the rear, look at the hips on this thing. That's amazing. I love this character line, how it blends out and then accentuates the haunches before fading away into the quarter panel. And you've got this other character line which comes out of nowhere and accentuates the rear end and kind of the crispness of that tail there and how elegant it is. And then these sharp tail lights, full LED, that make that iconic Aston Martin swoosh. And then as we come along to the very back here, you can get this car with the carbon fiber rear diffuser or this black one with the silver pipes, which I think looks better than the dark tips, which are available. And you've got some piano black back there, but just the profile of that car. You get down low, that rear quarter view is where it's at. It's got to be one of the best looking rear ends in the industry, and it's also functional. You got these vents that funnel air through the rear of the car and actually upwards from this slit on the rear end, helping with downforce toward the back at really high speeds, which is a really cool piece of active aero. You can get this car with the carbon fiber roof. I actually prefer the painted roof though. I think it looks great. And you know, you got this floating B-pillar design where that black kind of hides some of the lines of the car, but what a looker. Absolute stunner. The fuel filler here on the passenger side for us US market cars, you know, fill it up there. Looks great. Now here we have a two-tone car. This is a silver model. You can see it's kind of like a flat silver with that black roof. Also a really good looking car, slightly different wheel design on that silver trim. But regardless of what color you get, it's pretty hard to go wrong with the DB12. Now let's open up the hood. So to get to the hood, we got to open the passenger door, flush mounted door handle, push in to lower the window just a smidge, and then the hood release is actually over here on the passenger side, because of course, UK car, they drive on the right side of the car. Now, DB11 had two engines. You could get it with the V8 bi-turbo, 528 horsepower. You could get it with the V12, 630 horsepower. The DB12, one engine option. It's still the bi-turbo V8 from Mercedes, but they renegotiated the contract, because before the contract said, you know, via Mercedes, our cars have to be more powerful than yours. Aston Martin said, screw that, we're gonna renegotiate, and they have on this new generation of engines, so now they can do whatever they want. It's got bigger turbos, still fundamentally the V8 Mercedes block, but bigger turbos, different cam profile, new cooling, 671 horsepower. So the V12 may be gone, but you're still talking upwards of 40 horsepower bump on this new bi-turbo V8 over the V12. It's actually mid-engine. You can see the front axle there. the whole engine located behind the front axle with these dual intakes, feeding the beast. And look at these two adaptive dampers, Bilstein adaptive dampers, first time on a DB car. But once again, they're trying to move this car out of just the category of Grand Tour, trying to make this car more dynamic, more fun to drive, more trackable. So that's one of the ways they've done it. All right, stepping inside the Aston Martin DB12. What a treat in here. Now, starting with the key. At first glance, it looks like a pretty simple key until you notice this little Aston Martin logo behind this beautiful clear finish. And then you've got your lock, unlock, and trunk buttons. And this interior is so much better than the outgoing car. First of all, the start button located here on the center stack, little glass crystal, foot on the brake, push the button, and that V8 glides into life. Now, the old DB11 had kind of this weird V-shaped center console with an 8-inch screen and then a row of buttons, but it didn't look very premium, especially by 2022 and 2023 standards. The new DB12 has gone up multiple steps, not only in terms of quality, but functionality and technology. Starting with the quality, leather everywhere. Leather on the dash, leather on the dash trim, leather on the sun visors. Beautiful little operation there of the little mirror, and even leather up here on the headliners. Full stitched leather headliner throughout with suede inserts. The seat quality feels amazing as well. So you've got these high back buckets with a suede insert, and then you've got leather across the edges. And then, depending on your trim, you may have different variations on, for example, carbon fiber or different finishes across the door panels. But this carbon trim on this butterscotch interior is absolutely gorgeous. Now let's talk about the technology. So the old one used a derivative 8-inch screen, derivative of other manufacturers. This one is an in-house Aston Martin designed infotainment system. And I have to say, I'm pretty impressed. First initial impressions, you got these shortcuts along the side for car settings, audio, navigation, phone, and home. And then you've got these tiles on the inside which allow you to operate all the functions. But it's pretty snappy. I was worried it'd be like the older Jaguar systems where you'd sit and wait for a long time. This system works really well, but I love that not everything is touchscreen controlled. In fact, you can turn the whole touchscreen off there at a push of a button. It does attract a number of fingerprints worth noting, but it's a good system. It's also laid back quite a bit. But look at all these hard controls. I love me some hard buttons. Defrost, climate control, lock, unlock, AC, all hard controls. Now we get to these rotary tumblers, these little barrels, which feel amazing for your temperature, for your volume, for your fan control. They just fall to the hand so nicely and feel so high quality. And then you get to the shifter. Not a big fan of the shifter for a couple of reasons. First of all, it's just a little dinky. You move it backward and forward to select the direction, but I wish it would display in color which direction you had chosen there on this little panel, because it's not overly clear. You really got to look up here on the center screen, and then obviously the direction the car's moving to see whether or not you're in park, reverse, neutral, or whatever. But park, especially park, would be nice if that illuminated. Manual selection down here for the big paddle shifters. And then on both sides, you've got your various controls. This button operates 3 different exhaust settings, and we'll play a clip of that here in a sec. But you've got quiet, you've got louder, and then you've got your extra loud. We'll have full driving impressions on this car coming up here shortly, first week of July, but we'll talk more about how it drives once that embargo lifts. But you also have a button here to control your adaptive dampers. And then to the right here, you've got your screen off button, some ADAS functionality, and then your full 360-degree parking cameras all activated there. Now behind this panel, you have hideaway cup holders in a piano black finish. A little worried about the longevity of this piano black, how it's going to hold up. And then behind this beautiful diamond stitch console, you've got a place for your phone and a place for the key. Look how nicely the key slots in here. Just like so. Check that out. Now this phone is an iPhone 14 and it fits into that hole like a glove. But I'm kind of curious, like what happens if you have an Android, or can you get a new insert to fit your phone, and then you have USB-C charging ports back there. Now as we make our way over to what the driver interacts with, steering wheel, beautiful leather wrapped unit, great bolstering, feels great to the hand, It's got a flat bottom here, as you might notice, and then steering wheel controls. You got rotary knob here for cruise control, rotary knob for volume, and then you got these little touch-sensitive controls, similar to what Mercedes uses for kind of navigating throughout the cluster. 10.25-inch screen here, same resolution, same exact screen as the main one, except it's not touch, of course. And you got paddle shifters, big chunky paddle shifter for down, big chunky for up. The steering wheel is great, one of the best in the industry, I think. And then as we move over to the left side of the steering wheel, you got control here for your automatic headlights, for your parking lights, very Mercedes-like here. That's the one part that does feel very, very Mercedes. Window controls, love the toggle to go between the left and the right mirror, and all the controls in here feel so much better than previous Aston Martins, especially the drive selector, which you do by spinning this little knob. Just the absolutely fantastic feeling selector. So that's a huge win. Why don't we check out the rear seat? I think that would be a worthwhile exercise. Other thing worth noting down here is actually going to be where you find your seat control. So they're not on the side of the seat, they're not on the door, they're actually located here on the side of the center console. You got full up and down, you also have your recline there, and your memory seating throughout there. And then the only touch sensitive controls here in the center are going to be for your heated and your ventilated seats, and you can have both on at the same time. Okay, let's see what the rear seats are like. I'm betting the answer is the rear seats are going to be pretty tiny. Pull up on this lever, and if you get it in the right position, the seat should scoot back, or at least it does on the passenger side. There it goes. Rides back automatically. Yeah, the rear seats are tiny. You know, this is definitely a rear seat designed for emergencies, designed maybe for really short kids, but it's not a very big rear seat. Bowers & Wilkins subwoofer back there, 15 speaker audio system, by the way. Bowers & Wilkins with the tweeters there on top of the dash. So if you like banging your audio, I think nearly 1800 watts of capability on the sound system in the DB12. Overall, folks, Aston Martin did an incredible job with this new generation of DB car. You know, it's iconic to the brand. They had to have done it right, and I think they absolutely did. I would love to know your comments in the comment section below. What do you think of this all-new model? They say 85% of it is brand new, ground up. Let me know what you think. As always, this has been Tommy for alltfl.com. Check out alltfl.com for all the latest and greatest interviews.